We're back once again on Yankees Hot Stove, and boy, do we have a graphic for you. Look at all the offseason movement that we alluded to in the first segment for the Yankees, bringing in a ton of power arms, including a starter in Nathan Eovaldi from the Marlins. And you see a lot of subtractions, a lot of veterans leaving, and also the Yankees re-signing 5 of their players. So as we digest some of those names, what do you think ultimately, Jack, was the best move of the Yankees this offseason?
You know, I'm going to go back to the guy we were just talking about before and the guy who was number 1 on the list, and it's Andrew Miller, because I think baseball has gotten to a point where you can win games out of your bullpen. And look what the Kansas City Royals did last year. They were a slightly above average team, but they had that powerhouse bullpen at the end. And I think Miller helps give the Yankees that. He's a guy who, against lefties or righties, it doesn't matter. He has equal success against both of them. Looking at some of this video right now, that's the pitch that I love. When he throws that slider to right-handed batters, sometimes you'll see guys, and they'll try and backdoor it to the outside corner. He's throwing what you call a back foot slider, and he's tying up the hitter on the inside. It almost reminds me of the effect of a Mariano Rivera cutter. When that pitch is on, I mean, right-handed batters, they can't figure him out.
You know why they can't figure him out? I mean, look at the way he throws. He is all arms and legs. His body is in total chaos. He's 6'7", and you just can't pick up the ball. I mean, his ball moves a lot. He's throwing downhill. I mean, him and Betances both are huge men, and pitching right now in the game is a tall man's game. The idea is to create that angle of downward movement to really upset the hitter's timing and depth perception. It's really difficult. It's really uncomfortable to get in the plate against Miller. That's why he averages 15 strikeouts a game. He has almost 50% ground ball ratio, which is outstanding. So between him and Betances, I think the Yankees are great at the back end. I would have loved it if they had had Robertson as well. But I agree with Jack. Andrew Miller is the pickup of the offseason for me.
And I just think about that left-handed three-quarters. If you're a David Ortiz or somebody, what exactly are you looking at when that pitch is coming at you?
Well, the Yankees don't want Ortiz to even get to the plate against Andrew Miller or Justin Wilson. What they want is to get him out of the game after 2 at-bats, or at least neutralize him. I think that's one of the reasons the Yankees want 2 big power lefties to get to Betances, is to absolutely combat a force like David Ortiz. It's a great strategy. It's targeted to one guy, but it could be very effective.
You know, Bob mentions Betances, and when we talk about Betances and Miller, one thing not to forget, don't ever give up on tall guys who throw very hard, because Miller failed as a starter at the major league level, but now has found a home in the bullpen. Betances failed as a starter in the minor leagues, but now has found a home too. And now you put those guys together at the back of the bullpen. I mean, if you're Joe Girardi, you're looking ahead to this season, and now you do not want to wear these guys out. But how about nights where you're thinking, you know what, I might be able to get 8 or 9 outs out of these 2 guys. Forget 6 outs. Maybe I can get 8 or 9 outs out of just those 2 guys. You start to look ahead to some soft spots in the schedule, and if Tanaka's on and you know you might be getting 8 innings out of Tanaka the next night, you're going to use those guys even more.
You know what, expand on one thing you said in our first segment, the fact that it's not only better pitching, but it's better defense, because this isn't a game now where you average 7 or 8 runs a game.
Right, Bob, when we talked about the Yankees' best addition, Chase Headley would be number 2 for me, because I think the defense is so important. And Headley, if you compare him to Sandoval, the Red Sox giving Sandoval $95 million. I'd take Headley as a bargain at $52 million. You look at their OBPs for career, they're almost identical, but it's the defensive side that I think gives Headley the advantage. And now with Headley and Gregorius on the left side of the infield, you're going to notice a difference in the Yankee defense. Derek Jeter was a guy who in his career had won some Gold Glove awards. When Yankee fans see Didi Gregorius, they're going to say, wow, that's a shortstop. That's range. That's a cannon arm. That's a guy who was at the premier defensive part of his career. Jeter was at one point. He wasn't last year.
No, wait till his first ground ball up the middle actually gets caught, and they're going to say, wow, this is a brand-new era right now. Look, the Yankees have tried for the last 2 years to outscore their opponents, to just pummel them with tremendous offense. It didn't work. I mean, in that sense, the last 2 seasons have been a failure. So the idea now is to, instead of trying to score 7 or 8 runs a game, you're going to limit the opposition to 2 or 3 with hard throwers and great defense. Jack is right. This is the new Yankee way. We'll see if it works. You still have to score some runs, but the idea now is to suffocate the other team's lineup.